Okay, so a lot has happened, and I wasn't here for a very, very long time, as you probably saw. It is December 24. I stopped since December 12, which was day 7 in Imperium Acquisition, and it is now day 19 in Imperium Academy, Imperium Acquisition, whatever. Anyway, a lot has happened, and it's important for me to tell you guys what happened so you don't suffer the same as I did. And by suffer, I mean lose time and, yeah, lose time and tiny suffering. But mostly about the time, really. Time is very important, and I lost a lot of it. Okay, so let's talk about it. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible, but I do want to tell you about everything so you don't do my same mistake. So, everything started by the isolation of life, right? Now, what was crazy to me, as you know, the day, let's go back over here, day 7, this was the day that I failed, right? Don't let your guard down, you will lose everything. And surprisingly, this was day 1,000 in my entrepreneur journey. And let me show you something that is very important. I wrote it the same day, but in order to get there, I need to stop for a second. Okay, so let's continue. So that day I wrote this. Today it's December 12th, 2025. December. Whatever, I didn't write it right. That's weird. Whatever. Anyway, this was supposed to be a day of celebration because, it's day 1,000. It's nice, like it's day 1,000. But in my entrepreneur journey, but the day everything changed by it because I failed to the trap. A trap of darkness, a trap that I know for over 12 years, a trap that took everything from my life and almost killed me for so many times in 2020. So many times. 2026 is almost here. It's literally 6 days away. I must win in 2026 at all cost. The trap cannot hold me anymore. I must get rid of it somehow. Today was supposed to be a gift, but turned into a curse. A memory. What is the power of letting yourself fall or keep your guard down? Yesterday, after a while, I have planned today and I knew exactly what I needed to do, or was I supposed to be doing. But at night, I made a terrible decision, just one peek, so I won't get distracted today. But obviously, this was the trap, because once I had one peek, it was already over. I didn't sleep early, I slept at 4 a.m., and then I woke up late. And then the voice told me, "You already woke up late." The voice is mine, of course. Don't let yourself be fooled. I called it the monster so many years, but I'm the monster. There is no monster, it's a decision. The decision it took so much from my life. And today it simply took a day that could have been so productive and so beneficial. By the way, it was a day that I was not supposed to work. Like I took a day off from work and it was supposed to be a day of hardcore work, but sadly, you understand. Important, but it ruined. Decision took so much from my life. Today was simply took it today. Could have been so productive, so beneficial, so important, but ruined it for what? The pattern is extremely dangerous and very predictable. Kill it, and success is the only option. So you don't know this, but as I told you, I don't have distractions. Really, I am saying this with pure and truth. I don't go out with my friends. I barely sleep or eat. This is a bad thing I noticed today, but that's we'll get into it, right? So I don't do this. I don't play games. I don't watch movies. I did I think one twice in a couple of months, and that was only because my sister was sick and she really really wanted me to be with her. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm not doing any of those, right? I'm not scrolling, deaf scrolling, whatever. I'm not doing any of those. This is the only thing that's taking everything from me. And now here's what's crazy about it. This day happened, and the day after that, this happened. So I went on with the program, and I got to this part. Forgive me, I have no idea how to write this, but how to read this, but the oscillatory of life cycle, whatever. Anyway, this this is very, very important. Basically, he explains that every one of us has a pattern, right? You can work really, really, really hard, but there's a pattern. There's somewhere that you get comfortable, and then you're going to fall down, you're going to get sick of it, and then back up, right? So the best way to explain to you is this. So I wrote down mine, right? And here it is. The oscillation of my addiction. So usually it's 3 day clean, wake up early before 5 a.m., highly disciplined, strong focus, extreme, you get the idea. But here's the problem. The floor, late night relapse, sleep destruction, wake up late, heavy brain fog, shame, disappointment, avoidance, easy dopamine, only scrolling videos. I realized every time I'm failing, it's a chain reaction to stuff, right? It's not only I'm failing, it's a failing and it's losing days and it's losing whatever. It is much easier for me to fall to scrolling trap. Not as much, but still, it happens, right? Downward spiral. The state is marked as avoidance, shame, low energy, zero execution, one night sleep triggers, predictable multi-day collapse when momentum dies, identity awakens, and progress reserves, right? And you can see at the ceiling, waking up early, highly disciplined, blah, 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 blah. But here's where it gets pretty interesting. This is causing most of the time this, right? I wake up late, defeated, because there's something about me, I'm pretty much extreme, right? If the day started after 7 a.m., it's it's pretty much lost. Woke up late, I don't work up, lost bad momentum, compounding negatively. This is important. And then I did basically all of this. Let's go over here. So, why am I not successful? Let's see all my negative trends. Perfectionism avoidance, made at work. Oh, you can read, right? This, number one. Number two, three, four, and so on and so on and so on. Yep. So, we did this part. And then flipping the floor, meaning the worst part of me is the best part of me over here, right? So we flipped it. Now the floor is I need to wake up before 5 a.m. You get the idea, right? For everything. You can see this is all my stuff, we'll call it. I don't know what else. I don't want to waste too much time, so let's just keep going, right? So I finished this. I understood a lot. And then this, when I'm telling you this was everything. Everything for me changed. Because everything made sense. Specifically, this part. Right? Resistance comes in 30 forms. And here they are. And every single one of them I know. Some of them more than others, but I know all of them. Here's mine, right? So I would say fear, doubt, this, learning, research, comfort, perfection, waiting, justifying, rap priority. That's a big one for me, right? distraction, support, feeling vulnerable, addiction, criticism, denial. Uh, Maybe not this. Coping, coping mechanisms, right? Whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is this, right? My current self is fighting becoming self, and it's using all of those things that you just saw, which is crazy. But then I noticed something. I wrote down back over here. The pattern is extremely dangerous and very predictable. Kill it, and success is the only option. Now have a look at this. So, this was 3 days ago when I finally understood, like, it's the pattern, why I haven't won. So let's take a look at this. Today is 5th 24, 2025, right? A long time ago. Tomorrow was supposed to be the day I promised my dad I will take care of them, but instead, this is the day I look failure in the eyes. And usually I don't engage with self-pity, but this song was was powerful. Why? Because of this. You did it to yourself. Now here's again, failure. I've come to realize, look at the date. Look at the fucking date. The first of 24, 2025. The first of a month of 2024. I've come to realize I won't become a millionaire if I stay an addict. I literally wrote it. However, once I overcome my addiction, I will become a millionaire. And tell me if this rings a bell. This week was supposed to be a gift. So much free time, the most I had in months. Do you notice something similar? But what did I do? Absolutely nothing. I've accomplished nothing. It's not only that I didn't advance, I went back 10 steps because I failed to control my addiction in the morning and it took everything from me. I didn't have the energy, I couldn't focus, I felt really bad. This week, I could have taken 20 steps forward, but because of my addiction, I took 20 steps backwards. Once I beat the addiction, I will become a millionaire. The villain of your own damn story. Now, again, I can't keep losing. I cannot stay an addict. Look at the date. I must break free. And then again, sadly, I didn't look at the date, but anyway, at 4 a.m., I fell through the trap. Just one last time. Da 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 da. You get the idea. It's like jumping from a cliff and expecting not to fall. And yeah, the pattern repeats. Pattern repeats. May 23. Opportunity, comfort. Resistance, by the way. One last time. Now this hurts. And again, same thing. Opportunities for temporary comfort. I've come to realize that I won't become a millionaire if I stay an addict. However, once I overcome my addiction, I will become a millionaire. Note to myself, look at the date. Fight the addiction with everything you got. It's the only thing that can make you do something stupid. And this you already saw. Praying for the end of the morning. And if you want to leave. 4 years, ask myself, how can I still be nothing? I don't go out with friends, I don't play video games, I don't watch movies, I don't death scroll. And honestly, I don't even do the basic shit like sleep and eat. I barely do it. Like, it's crazy. It's bad, and we'll get to it. But yeah, like truly nothing. So I ask myself, how is this possible? But then I remember, yes, it's true. I've sacrificed a lot. 13 kilograms and about 60K, maybe a little more. And yeah, a lot more that I don't want to talk about. But I wrote here, there's no distraction, but there's one thing that is killing everything. You know how to burn that canvas. You don't wanna see, you don't wanna see what it's gonna look like after. There we go, the monster. But now I understand the truth. I am the monster. The monster is a decision, not some force. And honestly, I didn't care if it's been 13 years and I didn't beat it. I did it to myself. The villain of my own damn story. I mean, it's crazy, but it was right in front of me all of this time. This doesn't matter. Let's move on. Okay, so I understood this, and right today I finished this. And specifically, one thing that I do want to, yeah, over here. This. A lot of times I would push, and this is the part when I talked about sleep. I wouldn't sleep. I barely eat, and yeah, I barely sleep. And some days I wouldn't even eat. Right. But here we learned about burnout, that it's real. Right. So if I'm, let's say I'm right. Let's go over here inside. So I can show you mine. Okay. So mine was intensity almost 6 all the time, but all the time. So when I didn't sleep, I was pushing myself towards over here, zone 7, right? And then I kept on not sleeping and trying to push through. And then the cycle would happen that I would fall to zone 4 or 5. I would lose a couple of days, exactly as I mentioned over here, right? I would lose a couple of days, and then I'm getting back on track. And then again, going up and going boom down. I haven't achieved honest consistently, right? Even if I push myself and I work 14 hours, right, a day, here's something interesting, and I recommend you guys to do it if anyone is watching this. Go to chat and ask it the following. Hey, my student is, whatever your name is, recently joined the program and I feel like he's lying to me. Da, 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 da. Tell me honestly, why do you feel like Ariel is keep on failing? Doesn't tell me what is it. Don't lie what he's lied to himself, blah 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 blah. Okay, here it is. He feels like he's working 12 to 20 hours a day, but in reality, he's planning, thinking, talking, systemizing, whatever. And every time he says, I'll do double tomorrow, right? So I noticed so many times in my life that I would say, no worries, I'll just do triple tomorrow, right? So let's say I had a day that was bad day. I'm like, okay, so 24 hours, I cannot sleep, and I'm just gonna push. And I did. Most of the time, I did fulfill my promise. But then again, we're going back to over here. I would push over here like this, and I will fall down like this. And again, over here, right? I would push. I would stay here for a couple of days, let's say 4 or 5 days, and then boom, fall down. Then again, try to push, boom, fall down. And here's something crazy. I wrote this back in 2024. I haven't changed it since. Back when I was in dropshipping. Find one obstacle, find your one obstacle, and prove your worth. The obstacle for me was the addiction. And let me see which one. The illusion of productivity. That's one. This one is big. Time is a tricky thing. For a long time, I believe I was productive because I worked 12 to 20 hours a day. I rarely slept. There were months when I slept more. There were months when I slept more than 4 hours a night. Only a handful of times, right? I poured every waking moment into work, convinced that this grind would bring me closer to my goals. But here's the truth: despite all those hours, I wasn't truly productive. I was busy, but being busy is not being effective. Let's go back here. Oscillation of my 80/20 and oscillation of perfection in analysis paralysis. And here's how you're going to see it live. Over here, I want you to look for a second. This is my ChatGPT, right? I want you to look what I talked to him about. So we have here Gemini sleep cycle patterns, crafting cold emo, crafting limiting beliefs. Notice how many times I'm overthinking what I already done, right? Limiting belief, success blocker, aerial behavior, task assessment, destructive list, flip the floor. This is the oscillation. Resistance, oscillation I've explained. Again. Bitcoin, whatever, brain, opinion one. This is food. And I want you to look at this. So I understood that I cannot go with my niche because I didn't really picked it from the course. I picked it because monkey see, monkey do, right? So I decided I'm going to go again, right? So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be a lot more, whatever. Anyway, you get the idea. There's a lot, and I mean a lot. And this is only ChatGPT. The sad truth is, it wasn't enough for me. I would jump to Grok, I would jump to Gemini, and I would go and do the same thing like 10, 20 times, which is crazy. Yeah, I believe I went over everything that I wanted. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so why did I keep working but it didn't upload? Let's talk about it. So at first, yes, it was because I was ashamed of my failure, and honestly, it took me 2 to 3 days to really get back into it. I'm not saying that it didn't work, but as we saw over here, it's not this, it's not this, this. As we saw over here, I fell down to zone about 6 or 5, something like that, for a few days. And then I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't really like all the way. I jumped back to zone, I think 3, something like that. But while I was doing that, I said I need to understand this part. I watched it so many times because everything made sense. Everything suddenly made sense. This and this. I mean, there was so many times that I screenshot and I'm like, I gotta tell you about this, but I didn't. I didn't upload because I would get to the night, and I had so much to do that I said, fuck it, I'm not gonna upload today. I'm gonna upload tomorrow. Then again, I did so much things. Then again, didn't upload because I had more important stuff to do. And we got here, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I almost didn't do this episode, this video, because there's a lot of shit I need to do. I've just finished printing everything that I need. But yeah, I at the start it didn't upload because simply because I was a loser. There's no way around it. After that is simply because I prioritize stuff that are more important. And even though I was like, I gotta talk about this, I gotta talk about this, and I saved it and then put a screenshot for it. I said, all right, I need to talk about this. For example, let's see. No, that's not this one. Whatever. You get the idea. You get the idea. I'm talking for way too long, so we're gonna cut it right over here. But yeah, basically, I haven't uploaded. I kept working in the background. Some days more, some days less. But now I understand the pattern. I understand. I ask myself, how could it be that I'm working so hard, but I'm not moving? And this is the answer. This is the last 4 years, more or less, exactly what happened. I would get here, I would jump really, really high. Yes, 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 and down, all the way down. And again, I'm going to climb, 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 and then all the way down. And you can see it over here, right? I would do, boom. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Where can I see it again? Whatever. I have no idea where I can find it again. But you can see that I pushed, and there were days I'm just down. Whatever. I think we're gonna cut it right over here. Yeah, I think I went over the important stuff. I'm hoping you can learn from my mistakes. Yeah, pretty much that's everything that I wanted to talk about. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to keep uploading twice a day, meaning night and morning, simply because I have more important stuff to do. Really, much more, much more important. And yes, the reason I'm doing this and I'm uploading everything is because I want to do what no one else has done before and really document everything so everyone could see from zero exactly how everything unfolded and basically learn from my mistakes live. The problem is I need to prioritize, right? At the end of the day, if this really slows me down from winning, it is a problem because there's a chance that I would lose a lot of momentum because of it. And at the end, I need to win in order to provide value, right? It's not just about, hey, this is my story. No, but fuck that. It's about providing value at the end of the day. But anyway, yeah, this was absolutely everything. This was accountability. I hope I will see you tonight, but I'm not really sure. Also, stuff that I've just did. If you look over here, this is my wall. This is my wall of like the past 3 years or something. Nothing new, but over here, if you're gonna look over here, this is everything that I'm going to. I just printed. There's like 20 pages over here, and yeah, I'm gonna put it over there. I removed what was there, and what was there it was something about dropshipping. But yeah, I hope I did a good job explaining what the fuck happened. And yeah, this took way longer than it should have, but whatever. And I'm hoping to God, please, re- please have an audio. If this is without audio, that's fucked. Anyway, bye.